Hey, welcome back to the Photography Club. I'm here with Alyssa Foster Photography. Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, guys. I'm Alyssa Foster, photography. I'm out of Farmington, New Mexico, but I service like the Durango area.
Is there anything that you specialize in, or how would you kind of describe your style?
So I guess right now I'm kind of marketing myself as like an elopement, intimate wedding photographer. But really style-wise, I would say I just go really more into like the candid documentary
Yeah.
type of stuff. I really hate smile and cheese. I hate it.
I can tell that from your work. You're really good at the storytelling.
hmm
I would say your images are so much more than just like a pretty family or pretty couple. It's like
Thank you.
the
I
story
really
of them.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've always been like that too. Ever since I met you, you were always doing like these
hmm
fun, creative sessions. You used to do more portrait, didn't you? Like
I
single
did.
portrait.
Yeah, because when I first started, it's kind of hard getting into weddings if you don't have like weddings to show. So I did more like portraits and I really like just the creative, fun stuff. So I most definitely did a lot more creative, fun portrait types when I first started.
Which we had
Um,
that in common. I
hmm
remember we both really liked that. We
hmm
met like, when was it? Was it like 5 years ago,
It was
maybe?
a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like the first thing I ever saw from you was your color pop stuff.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like,
Okay.
dang, that girl's
Yeah.
cool.
That was back in 2021. That's crazy.
Which, yeah, makes sense. It's 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then Alyssa asked me and my husband to model for her,
I
which
did.
I'm not even kidding. Those are my favorite pictures that I've
They're
ever
my
gotten with
favorite.
Zach.
They're so cool.
They were so cool because we went to a car junkyard
Mm-hmm.
in Farmington,
Mm-hmm.
which my husband was saying like some crazy stuff happened there. I think you were telling me
It
that too
did.
after we did the photo shoot.
Oh my gosh, don't quote me on this, but there was like an investigation there and all kind like it was straight up like cops were there and everything, but it was after we were there, so it's okay.
Yeah, but my husband's always like, no, we can't go there.
Not again. You
Yeah.
won't catch me there again. I already got my pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they were on unscripted too, which was really
Yes,
cool.
I know. I need to post more on that, or like when you try to get them to
Yeah.
like feature your
They're getting
stuff,
so
but
popular though.
they
It's
really
like
are.
you've got a lot of competition
I
there.
know. It's hard. Maybe I just won't.
I feel that. Okay. So we're just going to kind of talk about some things that you go through when you're running a photography business
hmm
and some things that most people don't like to talk about. So my first question for you, Alyssa, is have you ever had someone copy you in photography, or like that feeling of someone in your area, maybe it's a photographer who's just starting out
hmm
and you feel like they are just copying everything you do? Maybe that's
hmm
your captions, your locations that you shoot at. You shot somewhere and then you see that they're shooting the same place, and maybe it's even your website, like the
hmm
copy that you have on your website. Okay, you seem like
Yeah,
you've got something.
I I have. And it's really hard because when you because photography in general is hard, right? Getting those clients are hard, coming up with everything that you do is hard. And so when that happens, it's I trying to say the right word. I guess I'll just say annoying. It's just a little annoying, because you're like, I worked really hard for this and now they're doing the same exact thing. I think I struggled more with that before I had Zia. So I would say like 2023, something around there. I
Yeah.
really, really struggled with it. And it took me a really long time to kind of like let that go. But most definitely, I feel like we all have dealt with something like that.
Is there anything that you did or things you told yourself to get over it?
hmm So I know a lot of photographers around our area. So specifically, I reached out to one and I was like, look, I'm really struggling with this. Like, and I was pretty mad. So I showed her screenshots. I was like, look, like I do one thing and then it's the same exact thing. Like, I don't know what to do. And she told me like a summary. Basically, photography is hard to be in, right? And some people will come for a while, they'll realize it's hard to be in, and they'll probably fall off.
That is
Or,
true.
yeah. And she's like, and honestly, that person will probably fall off and it's not a big deal. Like try to focus more on yourself. So for a while, because I was struggling with it, I had to unfollow a lot of photographers.
Yeah.
So that I wouldn't see it anymore, kind of like an out of sight, out of mind
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't drive me so crazy because I was going kind of crazy. I won't even lie. It was kind of hard, but once I did that, I really felt like it kind of helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this photographer ever reach out to you? Were they, like, asking you questions, or were they just silently copying you?
Um, so when they first started, yes. Like I want to start this. What do I do? Blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
I'm an open book, so I will say anything to anybody. And then it kind of started from there. So, yeah.
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 Yeah, and I will say Alyssa and I both value community over competition. So, like,
Mhm.
it's not that we mind when someone asks us questions
No.
and stuff like that. I think there's
Mhm.
just definitely a right way to go about it.
Mhm.
I feel like when someone is asking us questions, I take it as like a compliment. Do you
Mhm.
feel that same
I
way?
do.
Because it
Mhm.
really is like it's not such a terrible thing. It's not like they're trying to ruin your business and take
Mhm.
all of your clients. They
Mhm.
really are just so passionate. And when you think back, I'm sure you were at that same
Mhm.
point and you had other photographers who you look up to. And so I always try and just take it as a compliment. I do get torn sometimes though, because like you mentioned, like you did work hard
Mhm.
to find all that information that has got you to where you are in your business. And so I feel like there's definitely a point where if somebody is just asking you so many questions, you can charge them for it. It's
Mhm.
like, "Hey, I would love to help you, but I offer, like, mentorships and
Mhm.
stuff like that." And even if you don't offer mentorships, just, like, ask them, like, "Do you wanna just take time to sit down together and I can just tell you everything
Mhm.
for whatever amount of money?"
Mhm.
Do you feel like that
I
too?
think so too, yeah, because I think there's like a line, where you're trying to help someone, but then at the same time, you also have your own business and you worked hard to get there. I think there's most definitely a line, and everyone's line is going to be different.
Yeah.
But for me, for sure, like once they start asking just kind of a lot of questions, you're kind of like, maybe we can gear it this way for sure.
Yeah.
Mentorships. I think mentorships, that's a hard word.
It is.
Mentorships. I
Mentorships.
think they're really valuable because when you think about, because I'm also a teacher, right? So
Oh,
when you
yeah.
go to school and then at the end, like let's say you finish, you do like your student teaching or you're under like a student residency. Like almost everything I can think of has kind of like a mentorship or internship kind of part.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same idea. And I think it's really valuable, especially if you're really serious about it and you want to kind of take it to the next level. I feel like if you're at that stage and you're asking, certain questions, maybe you can kind of
Yeah.
ask about that for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And then also just like a little mindset thing, if you are someone who feels like someone's copying you,
Mhm.
just try your hardest not to get too annoyed by it and
Yes,
think of
it's
the
hard.
positive from it because it really does mean that you are like a role model
Mhm.
and they look up to you and you're kind of setting the expectation in your
Mhm.
area, in your town, which is a really cool place to be because
Mhm.
you worked hard to get there. I'm going to kind of switch to the other perspective of when you are just so passionate and just starting out because I've definitely had some photographers that I just look up to so much and I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, I want to edit like them. I want to go to that location that they just
Mhm.
shot at. I want to get that exact same shot because it's just so pretty.
Mhm.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. And especially, I feel like you maybe did the same thing with your creative sessions when you were just
Mhm.
starting out. Like anytime I seen someone do some kind of creative idea, I
Mhm.
recreated it. Did
Mhm.
you do that too?
I did. Most of my mood boards when I first would do that was like, "Oh my gosh, let's recreate this."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I pretty much grew my photography business off of copying other people.
Mhm.
And I think that's what most people do, whether they admit it or not. But I think definitely the way you can credit people, because I
Mhm.
would always try and say, like, inspired by this person. So if you're
Mhm.
someone who really likes someone's work, then what are some things you would say to make it, to keep it from getting that kind of
Yeah.
competition?
So, for sure, almost anything that has been done before, right? So I think for sure by tagging that person or saying this is inspired by so and so and be inspired by it, but then, like not do it word for word, right? I think that's super important to do. And I think,
How would you, I'm going to pause on that really
yeah,
quick. So, how would you recommend somebody change it up and make it their own if they have something that they just love?
they just love. I'll give an example because there's something that I want to do and I haven't done it yet. It was like a red backdrop and it's a couple and they're just kind of playing around with like a lollipop. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I don't think
But
so.
I love it. And so if I were to take that, because I'm really inspired by it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a red backdrop with a red lollipop and have the exact same outfits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would, if I want to do a backdrop too, I'm going to pick a different color. I'll still stick with a couple because I do couples.
Mm-hmm.
But I still have my couple. I'll, do their outfits according to like the backdrop color I get, and I'll pick a prop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the exact same red with the lollipop. It's like a different color, a different prop, a different kind of theme. I think that way you can kind of be inspired by it. And then obviously when I do it, I'm going to say like inspired by, and I'm going to tag that person because they inspired me to do
Yeah.
it. So I think if you look at it that way and be inspired by the photo shoot or the person, but make it your own, I think that's super important to do.
Yeah. That's a really good point. And there are so many things you can change.
Mhm.
Like you can have a different outfit, you can do a different color scheme,
Mhm.
but still the same prop,
Mhm.
or like the same color scheme, but a different prop, and just
Mhm.
like really challenge yourself to find a new perspective
Yes.
on the concept. And then that's going to make you a better photographer
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, because we all have a different eye. We all are
Yeah.
photographers. We specialize in different things. We all have different perspectives. So I feel like even something like that, like you could capture it and it could be completely different,
Yeah.
but still inspired by it.
I completely agree. I will say there are a lot of photo shoots I've copied. Exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, they never come out exactly because
No,
you're in a
'cause
different
you're
location,
different.
you have a
Mhm.
different model and all of the things. But whenever I was first starting and I didn't really understand like how to make it my own, I did copy things. I'm like, okay, their outfit looks kind of like this. They use this prop, these colors.
Mhm.
And I did that. And it actually helped me learn a lot
Mhm.
about like color schemes and putting things together. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No.
Again, as long as you just give them credit.
You got to give credit. That's kind of where it all comes down to. It's like writing a paper, You don't give your source credit, you're plagiarizing. You do, and you're okay.
Look at you, teacher mode.
I can't. It's just stuck in my head.
I love it. Okay. Ooh, what are your thoughts on sharing locations?
I know some people have a really hard time with that. I share it. Ugh, I
Me
really
too. No,
do.
me too.
I unless it's something like even if it's something where you have to hike and really get up there, if they're willing to put the work in and get up there, then by all means,
Yeah.
I'm more of y- like this earth was created for everybody to enjoy. And so if
Mm-hmm.
you want to go and you want to go trek that 10 miles, go ahead. Here you go.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess thinking back to when I was starting to, like I
Mm-hmm.
would reach out to a lot of photographers and it's kind of sad when they just
And they
gatekeep
don't,
everything
or
and
they
then
ignore
you
you.
don't want to have a relationship with them. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
cheer them on.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had this happen recently, not anything bad, but there is this other photographer in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know him.
Mm-hmm.
I love his work and his
Yeah,
photos and his
yeah.
locations and stuff. And so I there was this location that he kept shooting at, and I loved it so much. I wanted to go there, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to know where it was, but I didn't want it to feel like I was copying him. I felt
Mm-hmm.
like really weird about going to try and find the location.
Yeah.
So I decided to just send him a message on Instagram and ask him where it was, and he
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like it
Because
was
you're
that
probably
easy.
scared too, like, oh no, he's probably not going to respond, and boom, they do it. And that's how it should be.
Yeah, I
I mean,
agree.
I don't know. I think my mindset's completely different to where there's so much knowledge to share. Like, why not share?
Mhm.
They can't take away from you or your business. It's not going to take any shine away from like the session you did there. Obviously, as long as we take care of our planet and our
Yeah.
locations, like that is a big factor. But I feel like photographers, I've never met one where they weren't like careful or like picked up their trash or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that person obviously you think is trustworthy, like why not? You know?
Yeah. And I think a lot of the controversy comes with like that location becoming too popular or them getting the same type of photos that you have. Like people get like this scarcity mindset around, oh, my clients won't book me because this other photographer did beautiful photos in that location too. And I like to think of that as almost like a challenge. Like,
Yeah.
okay, how can I get even cooler photos? Or sometimes someone else will shoot somewhere and they shoot it a completely different perspective than you would have ever thought of or ever seen. And then you can now take that as new inspiration and improve your own photos. So I really like to think about that with copying or even competition. It really fuels me. Honestly, it puts a little fire under my butt.
It does me too, because it's like, how can I be better?
Yeah.
You know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I like the different perspectives. I do understand the whole part of it'll get too crowded. I
Yeah.
don't think for our area it can be like that, but I have been in like Albuquerque where I did a session like for myself, our family, and she took us somewhere and it there's like 50 photographers everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So I do get
Yeah.
it like for like the big city perspective. But again, if a lot of people want to shoot there, it's because it's just a really pretty area. And so
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but definitely, I mean, I get that part, but
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
do
that's an
too.
excuse to
Yeah.
not share either.
Yeah. And it can even challenge you to find new locations. Like you might have to
Exactly.
go somewhere else and you end up finding a cooler location that you would have never had before if you didn't leave that one.
Yeah, location scouting is part of the job. So if you're only stuck on 3 different ones,
Yeah.
then maybe you take it as a sign as maybe you should go start location scouting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a good answer and I love that perspective. Okay, so kind of going back to the copying thing, I was
Yeah.
talking to a photographer the other day
Mhm.
and she was having a little bit of a problem where she felt like she was being copied by another photographer in her town.
Mhm.
And her problem was she really wanted to raise her prices,
Oh.
but she didn't feel like she could raise her prices because this other photographer who she felt like was copying her had lower prices. And so she got scared that everyone would just go and book her because she's lower. What advice would you give to this photographer?
Man, that's a hard one. I definitely understand that because I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
But you gotta really pricing honestly has more to do with your cost of business than anything else, right? So when you think of it in that aspect, why would you charge half of what your cost of business is and work, I don't know, let's say 20 sessions a month when you could up your price to where you feel like you should be and you're doing 10 sessions a month. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a family though, so if I'm doing or shooting something, it's got to be worth it.
Exactly.
Because it's worth my time. Like I'm away from my family, gas prices are insane right now. All your equipment you have like SD cards and all that is crazy too. So I would suggest you charge what you need to charge to keep your business afloat. Because if you're constantly comparing to what other photographers are charging or what other photographers are doing, not only are you not going to be able to keep your business afloat, you're going to get burnt out.
Yeah, that's so good. I think you should never compare yourself to someone else because that photographer may go out of business. Like you said, they realize it's hard and they probably are having a hard time booking those sessions at that lower cost.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, I think you should never compare yourself that
No.
way. And also, like you said, like having a family, you never know what expenses they have, but you also never know what full experience someone else provides because if you are providing more in your experience, you have more reason to justify your costs. And so that could be another reason for you to just raise your prices even more. Just think of a way you can stand out from something that they cannot copy you.
Exactly.
Like you're your own person and there's things you can do that nobody can copy. And so take it beyond just like the way you edit and the locations you shoot at. Do something like So what I do is I have a fashion consultation and I will personally style all of my clients.
Wow.
And it's like, that's something, yes, someone else could do the same thing, but to be styled by me, like I have a specific style. And so someone's going to come to me because they like that style.
I like that style. That's a good point. Yeah, we all have our own spin on things, and if that client goes to that photographer, then that wasn't the client for you. Like you want your clients to come to you, not because you're cheap or your price or that location. They come to you because of what you offer, and you have a different eye, or let's say your personality or whatever it is. Like you want clients to come to you for you. And I think that's kind of where like photography businesses change from being a beginner and starting and kind of comparing and all the pricing to being like, this is what I offer. I know that, I can charge this because no one can do something like I am, and you're confident in that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it all changes.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas of what someone might be able to do to really separate themselves and stand out and get people to come to them because of them more than just their photos? You're really good at this.
I was going to say, I could talk about this all day. I think you need to show who you are. I have people ask me all the time, not even just photographers, planners, whatever. And I'm like, you got to show your face. You got to show who you are.
You guys should go watch Alyssa's social medias if you haven't.
Oh
the
my
way
gosh.
she's so just authentic and herself, and with her clients, they make the goofiest videos together.
That's so fun too. Like, I think if you stop seeing, I mean, it is a business, right? And you got to do all the business things. But if you start seeing it as something you enjoy and like you're excited for and you want to do, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I personally do videos. I really like doing videos. And I drag my clients to do them now. So.
You mean like social media videos?
Social
like reels?
media videos.
Okay.
Reels. Reels, TikToks. I do those.
Yes. Tell us about one of your recent reels with your clients.
Oh my gosh. So one that I always do all the time. I'm coming up a year on where I started this, is I do I'm like, I hope you enjoy your photos. And they're like, thanks, you too. And I'm like, me too. And then we get creative with it. If it's like a maternity, I'm like taking pictures with her and her belly. And the husband's taking our pictures. If it's like a couple, Kaz and I did one where they're like, I'm like, enjoy your engagement. They're like, you too. And Kaz like proposed to me again.
Aww,
that was funny.
That's cute.
So I do that every time if time allows for it, right? And then you got to do your research. So I always look to see like, what other funny thing can I do? And so recently, what's her name? It's like Ava or something.
Do
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I had her on the podcast too.
Did you? Oh my gosh.
Grace.
She's the main.
Grace?
Yes. She's so funny.
Yeah, she is.
She cracks me up. And so she did one time, I think it was with her husband, where she's like, do you mind if I listen to this podcast or whatever? And he's like, oh, sure. And it was like, how to use your camera. So I kind of did that.
Yeah.
Where I was like, all right, guys, can you walk a little bit forward? And I had my United headphones because I just got off a plane not too long ago. So I'm like putting them in. And it's like, how to use your camera
as you're at the photo shoot.
As I'm at the photo shoot, they're looking at me like, what are you doing? So
I know I
do things
that
like
one.
that.
And like she did one too where she was at a session and she just like fully picked out a wedgie. But in the comments, it was so many people that were like, oh, I'm booking you just for this.
From her wedgie. Okay. I really resonated with that because this is so embarrassing. But in high school, I just wasn't really into wearing like certain kind of underwear. So I wore what people would consider granny panties, okay? And I have a bigger bottom, so even granny panties on me are kind of like what other panties would be on someone else, like the cheeky kind, whatever. And I played soccer. And at the end of my senior year, I mean, this is controversial. You can tell me if it's weird. I think it's weird, but it was funny at the time. I didn't get MVP, okay? I got MWP, most wedgie pics. So whenever I saw her video, I was like, dude, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Pick that wedgie.
Yeah, and that's what's really going to separate you. It's like someone's going to book that kind of person because they just resonate with them. They are going to feel comfortable with them. They relate to them. no matter what their pictures look like they're
That's
just
what
going to want to work
matters.
with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I've been trying to do is do more vlog style posts and ask my clients questions during
Oh,
the
yeah,
session.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I just did one, and I find that I feel like I get more intimate comments, I guess. People get more like invested in that, and so I'm trying to do more of like storytelling and really bringing people behind the scenes, and someone who might want to work with me is going to see that, and they're going to see like in so much detail what it's actually like to work with me, how I talk to my clients. And so I think that's something that would be good to try too.
Yeah, because, photography it's so much, but it really, a lot of it is your relationships, like with your
Yeah.
clients. And if you could show them what that's like, then they're already going to trust you. You already built that trust before you even started your session. So
Yeah.
that's really important.
Okay, I mean, we kind of already answered this, but if you have anything else to share, how would you help somebody to stop thinking this question of why would someone book me when they could book another photographer for half the price?
Yeah, that one, like I said, that's hard. That's a hard mentality to get out of. Because I won't sit here and be like, I got over that so fast, because I didn't.
And it comes up still, like
It
every
still
once in a
does,
while.
all the time.
Something you have to work on.
It really, it's a work in progress. But you definitely have to work at it, right? And so I think just going back to that, remembering that you have something to offer that not everybody else can, and really zoning in on that, kind of having that tunnel vision on yourself.
Yeah.
Is really important, and seeing like, how can I make my business better? How can I relate to my clients more? How can I build those relationships more? How can I show them what it's like to work with me?
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of where you should start, because if you're always kind of looking at what other people are doing instead of looking at what you could be doing, because what works for them is not going to work for you, like picking your wedgies isn't something that everyone's comfortable with,
Yeah.
So someone that's really like, ew, I would never, is not going to go with someone that so willingly picks their wedgie, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's just really important. It's just continuing to show up for yourself and your business, and showing people who you are, and maintaining those relationships with your clients.
Yeah.
And then I think it all kind of just flows from there.
Yeah, I agree. That's really good. And then also just like thinking about how you can go above and beyond for your clients and what you can do to make it extra special. Like some people will print out little Polaroids or something and give them to their clients, or I'll bring like a smoke bomb sometimes. I'll surprise them with a smoke bomb, or even like a Starbucks. Like every once in a while, I'll show up with a little coffee for them. And those little things do really set you apart and show that like you're worth your pricing, because you care and you're going to go above and beyond to make sure they're comfortable and taken care of.
Oh, yeah. You could even go as far, let's say you don't have money for all of that. You could go as far as giving them their photos back sooner than you said. Like, there's just so much
That's
you could
so
do.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But really thinking about like your client and having your tunnel vision on your client,
Yeah.
I think
And
is
taking the
how it'll
time
go.
to get to know them.
Oh, yeah.
Like think about what they're interested in and actually come up with engaging questions to ask them.
Communicate with them
Yeah.
before your session. Don't just book them and then barely talk to them the day of. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, which it takes a lot of planning to get
It
to that
does.
point. Because I used to be that photographer where it's like, oh, my session's today.
Uh-huh.
But now I'm like 3 months in advance. I'm like, okay, it's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. And then you've already talked about what they want
Uh-huh.
and how you're going to do that and accomplish that, instead of just randomly showing up and being like, okay, I'm here. Let's do it. And then they're like, but what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really
that makes a
important.
big impact. And I think that's something a lot of beginner photographers don't think about. And so when you're comparing your price to someone else, you got to remember that they're probably doing these little things that you already have locked down. Have you ever been told you're too expensive?
Oh, yes. All the time. I get ghosted all the time.
If you haven't been told that, you need to raise your prices.
I know.
think.
I'm like, if you've never heard that, this is your sign.
Yeah.
Because, or ghosted, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so cheap. I do not. Those posts where it's like, looking for an affordable photographer, don't tag me in that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because that is not me. I'm not for you, baby. No, yeah, I've definitely been told. Well, honestly, being told you're too expensive is at least nicer than being ghosted.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
I've been told was too expensive a few times. Obviously they did it in a respectful way, like that's out of our price range, whatever, so and so. But I definitely get ghosted way more, and I know
Yeah.
why I'm getting ghosted, you know?
Mhm.
And so for sure, that's part of it. And
Yeah.
it's you just gotta be like, it's okay. Like
Yeah.
I know I'm worth it, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
just
stoop down.
yeah, you got to stay strong in
Mhm.
your beliefs and remember everything you've worked towards to get there,
Mhm.
because it can be really hard to think
Mhm.
like, oh, and kind of reevaluate everything and think maybe I do need to lower my prices. And
Yeah.
I've been there for sure, because I get scared if one person doesn't book you, you kind of spiral and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, no one else is going to book me either because they're going
Mhm.
to think I'm too expensive. But expensive is such a crazy word,
It
because
is.
it's like you can do a free photo shoot and that can be too expensive for someone.
Mhm.
Like, you can do $100, $50, and that's gonna be too expensive for someone.
Everyone's expensive is different,
And you can do
right?
$10,000 and someone's gonna happily pay that.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, wow, you're cheap."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, I gotta raise my prices. Just kidding. But no, yeah, I think it's definitely like everyone's just different. Like some people go to Walmart and buy the Great Value brand. Some people actually buy, I don't know, what brand am I thinking of? Like Hunt's or whatever, ketchup. Like
Oh,
there's different
yeah,
things, you know? Like
yeah,
I love my Whataburger ketchup and I will pay the money for the Whataburger
yeah,
ketchup. I'm not, you know what I mean? So
mhm,
that's just kind of seeing it that way. I mean, some people like to buy just a Walmart bag. Some people want a Coach or
yeah,
whatever. I don't buy those kind of bags, but you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's a thing. And I feel like too with prices, it doesn't always have to be set locked in stone too, because you can always
yeah.
adjust. Like let's say you did raise your prices and maybe like you've had like 10 to 20 no's. I feel like you can go back and
That's a
kind of
good
look
point.
at it too.
Oh, I
Um,
remembered my
okay,
question.
go.
Okay, I was gonna ask your thoughts on how pricing yourself kind of affects where you live. I don't know what it's
Mhm.
like in Farmington. Like, I don't know if people have money there or if they're
Yeah.
kind of, because
Well,
especially like smaller towns or
uh-huh.
rural areas, a lot of people will say, like, I just can't charge that
Yeah.
much. What are
Oh,
your
yeah.
thoughts on that?
Um, that's why I service the Durango area.
Okay.
I do get some in Farmington. Honestly, most of what I get in Farmington are like friends of a friend type of
Yeah.
deals, and they always pay it. They never say anything. But I did have to adjust like my bio, and I say Durango because Durango, I feel like the Durango area photographers probably charge around the same that I do in
Yeah.
Farmington. So I do think that does have an effect. Because what are you to do if you're in such a small town and they don't want to pay that, right? Like I'm sure Dallas photographers charge way more than we do in Farmington or Durango.
Mhm.
So that part is hard too, and that's one of those where I would take it as see how many no's you're getting and
Yeah.
then look at your cost of business again and see if there's any wiggle room to adjust.
Yeah, I would also
Um,
say how many no's you should probably get way more than you're thinking. Like
mhm.
10 no's is okay, but I would say really wait until you get like 50 no's
It's
until
a lot,
you
yeah. Like a lot of
reevaluate
no's. Yeah.
what it is that you're doing and what you could change,
Mhm.
because really volume is going to tell you what's
Mhm.
missing. If you
Mhm.
get enough people telling you one thing repeatedly,
Mhm.
then you can kind of reflect on it.
Mhm.
But if you get just like 5 or 10, or I mean,
I get a
really,
lot of no's.
yeah, yeah, really, it should be a lot, like even more than 50
Yeah,
probably
it's a lot. Oh, yeah.
before you actually start to consider. But even
Mhm.
still, like if you believe in what you're doing, stick
Mhm.
to it. Like
I
don't
would.
change it even if you get 50
Mhm.
no's.
I mean, I'm saying when I changed it, it was like $20 because
Yeah.
the whole science behind like the number really gets to people. Like a
Yeah.
500 opposed to like a 4, I don't know, 85. Like they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh," but it's basically almost the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So, looking at the science behind that too is important. Like we pay 4.99 for something, but it's technically $5. You know
Yeah.
what I
It's
mean?
like 550 almost
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
literally. So, that looking at that, there's so much you can talk about when it comes to
Yeah.
pricing. So much.
Yeah. Pricing is hard, and I feel like not enough people talk about it, and they
No.
just kind of guess and
They
just look
guess,
at other
do whatever,
people. Yeah,
and see what someone else charges this, I'm gonna charge the same thing.
yeah,
And you're like, "Well."
yeah. But going back to the small town, and I love that you said you go to Durango, which is a little bit more of a touristy area.
Mhm.
In Durango, would you say you book tourists or locals?
Tourists.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, because I'm
Mhm.
also in a very small town, so I also usually go to Durango,
Mhm.
and I think that is something to say about if you are wanting to charge higher prices, but you feel like people in your town aren't gonna pay it.
Mhm.
Because of social media, you're gonna find your people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can market, you can use advertising, and you can get the clientele you want at the price you want, even if it's not in your town.
Yeah.
Because like, everyone told me people here just aren't gonna pay that much, and I think I'm slowly getting into Cortez. I think that
Are
I'm
you?
finding the
It's
people
good.
because I know
There
there
are
are people
people.
here,
Mhm.
you just have to find them, and it's just harder to find them
Mhm.
in these smaller towns, but in the meantime, when I'm not booking here, I'm booking tourists coming
Yeah.
from all over the country.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get a lot of tourists, a lot of the weddings are because they wanna, like, a destination, Durango area wedding, or, like, if I do regular sessions, I get a lot of, like, proposals or engagements that are from, like, Texas and stuff that
Yeah.
come here.
Mhm.
Um, I actually get yeah, I never really thought about that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get a lot of tourists.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
that's crazy. But, yeah, definitely tourists, and then Farmington, yeah, family, like, friends, and yeah.
Yeah. I would say really the only local seniors that I book is my senior model team. I don't book
Really?
any seniors outside of that
Uh-huh.
besides tourists.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, which I'm trying to get through that and I'm trying to book more seniors
Mhm.
here. But it is hard because
It's hard.
they don't I don't know if it's that they don't value it as much or they're just not educated enough
Yeah.
into
Well,
the
with
value
seniors,
of
it's
it.
hard too, because then you deal with parents and, like, what
Yeah.
they're willing to
Yeah.
pay, maybe what a senior really wants or thinks is valuable, their parents like, "You're crazy." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I definitely think social media is amazing, and you can find so many of your people there too, but there are a lot of people I've noticed that don't have social media, and, like, dipping into your community and putting yourself out there is also kind of important.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, really important, I would say. That's something I've lacked in the past, but I'm trying to do
Mhm.
more of. What do you do to
I
get
do
into
a
your
lot of, like,
community?
events.
Like, what kind of events?
So, I used to work at a private school, like, based out of a church in Farmington, so I do a lot of their events. I do, like, their they call it the soiree, but it's, like, their fundraiser for the next year. I
Mm.
photograph that. I photograph Night to Shine.
Do you do these, like, volunteering, or do they hire you?
I get hired.
Mm,
Mhm.
okay.
I volunteered first so
Yeah.
that when I first did their fundraiser, I was a teacher there, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it," because I did
Mhm.
yearbook for them, and
Yeah.
they knew I was a photographer, so I did it,
Yeah.
but then after I stopped working there, they started paying me, and then, the Night to Shine is that Tim Tebow, like, prom for special needs, so I
Mm.
photographed that, and I do get paid for that. Now, I will say um because I know them, I don't charge them, like, what I probably would charge other people,
Yeah.
but I still, like, get paid for sure.
Yeah, and the
Um,
networking pays off, I'm
it
sure.
really does, there's so many people there, and then,
Yeah.
they send out the photos to every person there, so
Yeah.
every person there gets my email, and they know, like, who took their photos, and so I do a lot of that, and I recently started doing a lot more, like, sports,
Mm.
like baseball
Yeah.
teams and stuff, and
Yeah.
that has opened more doors for me because 'cause they're like, "Oh, can you do this or this for me?" Or, "I need family photos," or whatever, and so, it's really helped getting to know way more people and getting my name out there. I think
How
it's important.
How would you recommend someone get into that if they maybe either just moved somewhere or they're
Mhm.
just not super involved in the community and they don't know of anything coming up? Like, what would you suggest someone do?
Well, like the city, right? I think almost every city has like a page. So you can
Facebook
start
page?
there, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the city of Farmington has a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to do events that way, you can reach out that way. You can even call them, or you can go down to the commerce and see. You could also, a lot of like businesses have social media pages now that you
Mhm.
could reach out because I've reached out to some that way. and see, like, I just put myself out there. Hey, I'm trying to do more events. If you need anything, this is what I do. I would love to help. Let me know.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, you just have to not be scared and put yourself out there because they're not going to find you. You're going to have to go find them. And then from there, it's kind of where it builds.
Yeah.
But you got to take that first step.
Yeah, you do. And that is scary.
It's very scary. Very scary because there's a lot. Well, one, there's a lot of photographers around. Let's say they already have a set one, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, what if they say no? But you got to get just used to the no's.
Yeah. And you got to remember that's what's going to separate you from other people because that's also what holds the other photographers back. So if you're willing to go and do that and make yourself uncomfortable and put yourself out there, you're going to see the results from it.
Oh yeah, if you get over that embarrassment. I get so many, how do you do that? I can never do the videos, blah blah blah. And you're like, that's the difference. Because there will be those that will never do it ever. Or if they do, maybe here and there. But if you're consistent with it, I think that's definitely one of those that sets you apart too.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, is there any other struggles you can think of that someone might face, like mentally, just in their photography business?
I mean, everyone's different and everyone's dealing with different things. I say for me personally, I think being a mom and having a business was a struggle for a really long time. Feeling guilty, being away
Mm,
and finding that balance. So that's where the cost of business came in for me, and making sure that when I am away, it's worth it, um, kind of deal. And I really had to look to see how much do I want to make? And then on top of that, how often am I willing to be away?
yeah.
And so creating that balance was really hard. Oh my gosh, it took me a long time. I've been doing this 6 years now, and I feel like I just barely have it now.
Mhm.
Um, so, like, for moms, I know that probably is really hard.
Yeah.
Or
How do you on being a mom too, how do you deal with the work-life balance? Like, how do you have enough time for your kids and to go do photo
Mhm,
shoots and edit and
mhm.
manage your business?
Oh, it's hard. The balance is hard. So, I have learned I have to become like a planner. And so I literally have like a calendar and I'm like, okay, I allow myself 4 sessions a month. Okay.
Okay.
It's not a lot, but for me, that's what's worth it, right? So
Yeah.
then technically for me, what that looks like is I give up 2 weekends for like photography or whatever, and then
Mhm.
2 weekends are for my family.
Mm.
And so whatever that looks like now, maybe it's you do more than the 4, but like those 2 weekends are like set apart for that. And then for editing, it's just something I have to do after the kids go to sleep because there's no
Yeah.
way around it. You just can't. They're all over the place. There's no way. So I've really gotten the habit of making sure I give myself days. So typically they're like it depends on like the season. If my kids have baseball, so during baseball season, I do like Mondays. When
Mhm.
it's not baseball season, I do Thursdays where I edit.
Mhm.
And just giving myself like that time, and that's like when I go and do it because you have other house things you have to do too.
Yeah.
So giving myself days, weekends, and then that's where the cost of business and all that kind of came in.
And I think I love that you said that you designate 2 weekends for your family too, because that's
Mhm.
huge, and I think even just, like, taking days off
Mhm.
is gonna help you to be able to show up harder and more effectively.
Mhm.
That's a mistake I made a lot, I would say. In the
Mhm.
beginning, I didn't have any days off, like, I
Mhm.
just worked every single day, and my days weren't as structured,
Mhm.
and I felt like I was being productive and getting stuff done by doing that, but I really wasn't because
Mhm.
I wasn't making the most of my time, and then I was exhausted
Mhm.
all the time because I never actually had time off. So as soon as I started designating, like, Sundays I don't work,
Yeah.
I actually feel so much better.
Mhm.
So I think it's important to pick times, whether that's family time, whether that's you time, and
Mhm.
actually stick to it.
Oh, it's really important because you can get burnt out so fast.
Yeah.
There was a time I was the same. I didn't set any time and I was constantly I think it was like October, can get really busy. I think I
Yeah.
worked every single day in October, but like 2.
Mhm.
And that was hard.
Yeah.
So you like don't realize it and then you start and you're like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?" And it's your own fault because you did it,
Yeah.
it's not their fault. You're the one that kept saying yes.
I know,
So
when you're not in the moment, you're like, "Oh, yeah, that's fine. I can, like,
I can
travel
do
here
it.
and then travel there the next morning," and, like,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
all
then
of
you're
this
like,
stuff.
"Nope, I can't actually, I'm not doing it." So
Yeah.
that's really important, setting that time apart, setting time when you're going to edit, or setting time. Now I set time when I am going to do like my reels and doing my scheduling and all that.
Yeah.
Because if I don't set that time and I don't sit there and I do that, then they're not going to get done.
Yeah.
So really a lot of it, you have to be a little organized. I know I'm
Yeah.
not completely organized. Like my SD cards are probably all over the place, but I know like what day I'm doing what.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
super
know.
important.
I think there's a quote, but I can't think of it exactly, but it's like, take a look at what's in your calendar,
Mhm.
because what's in your calendar is what you prioritize. Like,
Mhm.
are you actually setting aside time for the things that you wanna get done?
Mhm.
Otherwise, they're probably not gonna get done, and then you're
Mhm.
gonna wonder why you're not moving forward.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
So
It takes some thought.
I've
Mhm.
been really trying to be more organized in that way. Do you organize your week? Like, do you do it weekly? Do you do it daily, monthly? How do you kinda stay organized?
So for sessions, obviously when you get reached out, you're looking at your calendar all the time.
Mhm.
So for my calendar wise, anytime I get an inquiry, I'm looking at it. But for like my weekly things, like at least my posts and schedules,
Mhm.
I do those on a biweekly. So every 2 weeks
Okay.
I have them scheduled out and I sit there and I schedule them. It takes a long time.
You
It takes me
batch
all
it?
day. Oh yeah.
You do a whole
I
day for
batch all
it?
my
Yeah.
stuff. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I schedule it because there's no way, because I have
Yeah.
another job too. So there's no way it would happen.
Mhm.
But I live by that calendar. Like
Yeah.
you ask me, hey, do you want to do XYZ? And I'm like, let me look maybe in 3 months.
Yeah.
Cause that's how far out. Like I schedule, like my calendar is really important to me. So I live by it. I always look at it.
Have you ever had a hard time maybe before you got a little more organized where you would put things in your calendar or things that you needed to get done and they just wouldn't get done? Like,
Hmm.
you would just struggle to stick to what you tell yourself you're gonna do? Have you
Oh
ever
yeah. When
had
I
that?
was really busy, I would not do a lot. You could tell where I was lacking for sure. Whether it was there was a time I didn't schedule and batch my posts and I
Yeah.
wouldn't post for months,
Yeah.
because then you're like, well, then what am I going to do? And then you randomly put something out and it doesn't do well. And you're like, why didn't that do well?
Mhm.
And I've just realized there's so much that goes behind everything, whether it's your photography or your posts or whatever it is, so much behind it that you have to make time for the things that you want to do well in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was drowning for a long time, a really long
Yeah.
time, for sure.
Yeah. For me, I've found that if I just analyze the week,
Mhm.
like, think about, like, "Okay, what did I get done and what didn't I get done?"
Mhm.
And really think about why. Like, was I just being lazy? Was
Mhm.
I tired? And then you can kind of realize, like, "Okay, maybe this time of day isn't best to do this task." And you
Mhm.
really start to realize your energy levels. Have you had that happen
I
too?
have. Oh yeah, because that's why like Fridays I never do anything on a Friday.
Yeah. I'm
'Cause
like,
let's
"Okay,
be
it's the
real, it's
end
the
of the
end of the
day."
week. I'm
Yeah, end
putting
of the
my
week.
feet up. I wanna watch a movie or something. I don't
Yeah.
wanna do anything.
Mhm.
Thursdays for me, I'm like, "Oh, it's almost the end of the
Mhm.
week. Like, I need to hurry up so I can relax."
Wait, me too.
Yeah.
Thursdays are, like, my busiest
Thursdays
days.
are my days. Like, I get a
Yeah.
lot done on a
Me
Thursday.
too.
And when I first did Mondays, oh, it was hard because Mondays I'm like a slug.
Yeah, me too. Mondays are kinda hard. I feel like
Mhm.
Mondays are the days I wanna nap the most.
Mhm.
How are Wednesdays for you?
Wednesdays, I still wanna nap.
Wednesdays are
Tuesdays are
s
better for me.
Okay, me too. Tuesdays and
Tuesdays and
Thursday, and
Thursdays.
then Wednesday's more of a relaxed day
Uh-huh.
too.
Mhm.
Wednesday and
I
Friday.
like to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're chillaxing, doing
Yeah,
other things. Tuesday,
okay.
Thursday, you're working.
Mhm.
And then it just depends, but mostly Sundays is when I batch my stuff.
Mm. I do usually the stuff on Saturdays. I try and take Saturdays off, but if I do wanna work on Saturdays, I'll do the stuff that's more fun for
Mhm.
me that I'm not getting paid for. So, like this podcast, I
Mhm.
usually will edit it on a Saturday
Mhm.
just because it's hard to fit into my week when I'm not actually getting paid for it because I
Yeah.
need to fit in clients and
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm the same way. My mother-in-law actually has really drilled that into my head. She's like, I would spread myself really thin because I do have a hard time saying no,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't say I'm a people pleaser, but I guess I am, because I do like to make people feel good, and I want them to
Uh-huh.
feel important. And I feel like being in this industry, you get to know so many people, and then you want to make sure you're like pouring into them as well. And so I really was stretched so thin. And she was like, "Why are you getting paid for it?" And I'm like, "No." And so she's like, "Well, then why are you doing it?" And so I really
Yeah.
had to look at what I was saying yes to. And
It's
those
so hard
ones,
though.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
because you don't want to say no and you want to help. And so making sure that I take that time for me,
Mhm.
because the burnout is real.
Yeah.
There was a time I didn't want to do anything. I didn't
Mhm.
know what to do, but I knew I didn't want to quit. But I was just like, I don't even know what to do. I'm just not enjoying this.
Yeah.
It can get bad. So
Yeah.
that's really, there's so many important things. I don't even
Yeah.
know.
No, that was really good. Okay, I wanna ask you one more question. Can you share something fun you have coming up, either business or personal? What's something you're excited for?
Oh my gosh. Well, one of the ones you already know about, I'm doing my retreat
Oh, yes.
in January.
Uh-huh.
I am actually like announcing it tomorrow.
Ooh, okay,
Today's
wait.
Friday, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Tomorrow, Saturday.
Okay, do you wanna tell us here on this podcast
I
first?
do.
Okay.
So I have a really fun day tomorrow. I do photographer meetups. And so my July photographer meetup is at a new venue in Farmington. And we kind of teamed up. She's doing like an open house and I'm doing like a styled shoot for it. And during that styled shoot, Sky gave me this idea. I love Sky.
I
She's
love
so smart.
Sky.
She's like, why don't you make sure everyone has their phone on airdrop mode? And then when you're just gonna, I'm gonna randomly put it out. I have my retreat downloaded like a PDF on my phone, and I'm just gonna airdrop it to everybody.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah,
I
wasn't it?
love
I was like,
that.
great, because I was like, should I do a pamphlet? I don't know what to do.
Uh-huh.
So my next Framed by Faith retreat is January 15th through the 18th in Denver. We're going to do a lot of fun things this time. There's so much more than our last one. We're going to have a courthouse elopement. We're going to have a like a half day studio where I rent out a studio. We're going to do some portraits. We're going to do headshots. We'll do
Like,
the
each other's headshots? Oh, in the
Yes. Oh,
studio? That's so
yeah.
cool, I love
We
that.
needed that. We didn't do that last
Yeah.
time. We're gonna do a Denver at night kind of scene.
Is that gonna be a couple? Is it gonna
Yeah.
be mostly couples,
No.
or
So the studio is gonna be a portrait. I'm gonna have a model there, or probably a
Okay.
few models. Um, and then we're gonna do the Brown Palace. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like a hotel, really like old style, fancy, and they
Ooh,
do tea
okay.
parties there. So we're gonna
Oh,
dress up. I'm gonna get everyone dresses. We're gonna dress up and do portraits there at a tea party, which will
that's
be
so
fun.
cool.
And then a Union Station one.
I love
All the
that.
Denver things. Oh, and well, I know people don't like to call it because it is like framed by faith, right? Like my
Mhm.
faith-based retreat. And I know the word yoga is a touchy subject to some people. We're going to do stretches.
Stretches.
Stretching at the Red Rocks in the morning. Oh my gosh,
That
I'm
is
telling you, it's
so
amazing. And then
cool.
I have Humble Church. I'm really good friends with Christy, and her husband Vaughn's going to help out, and Christy's going to lead worship for us every night. And Vaughn's going to do like a community event at a coffee shop where, like, even if they're not photographers that aren't at our retreat can come, kind of deal.
Oh,
It'll be
that's
really
cool.
cool.
Kinda like a day thing for
Yes,
them.
a day
Yeah.
thing. So we have a lot
That is
jam
a
packed
lot.
this time.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
yeah. It's
exciting.
really
Yeah.
exciting. I'm very excited.
Okay, if someone's listening and they might be interested in attending, how can they find that?
So that's going to be pinned on my photography page, Alyssa Foster Photography, and you can just message me.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. Well, is there anywhere else they should find you? Just Instagram, maybe?
Instagram, yeah, Alyssa Foster Photography. TikTok, same thing, Alyssa Foster Photography. I'm really active on TikTok.
Are you?
I am.
I never get on TikTok anymore.
I love
I used to
TikTok.
be,
The
but
community there is just so different. Like I could post because I all my videos I post are on TikTok, and then I take it from there and put it to Instagram.
see, I used to be
Don't
like
quote me on
that.
that, but
I used to, but now I don't. I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
don't? I do.
TikTok.
And there's videos that I'll post on TikTok that do really well. No one says anything. And then I'll post it on Instagram and then people hate me for it. And you're like, okay, whatever. So I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
But
I think I need to give TikTok another try.
I
I've
think
been
you do.
slacking.
I feel like that's where you got your
It is.
stuff from anyways.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know. I have like twice as many people on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. I don't know. It's just a whole different ballgame. And to me, it's just more easygoing, carefree. I don't care about my feed or anything. You just post and you see what happens.
Stressful.
Yeah, and then Instagram, I have to think about it a little bit more. But
yeah,
I love TikTok. But yeah, find me on those too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me. This was fun.
It was so fun. Bye. Bye.
My wrists are going to be strong after this.